Well, hey everyone, it's Marcus. I am back in my jungle room. This time I'm zooming all the way over where I'm speaking to an incredibly talented guy. His name is Craig Bodinnar. Craig, hey, how are you?
Good, thanks. Thanks for calling.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming online with me. Of course, Craig, you are famous for being part of the Dancing in the Shadows of Motown show that just sells out all across Australia, not even Australia, in America too. We're going to talk about all of it. But first of all, you've just got back from America with all the sellout shows. How did America go for you? Was it great fun?
Fantastic. It's a great bucket list trophy, I guess, to
Yeah.
say that we sold out the whole Californian tour. So every show, not one bum missing on one seat. So
Um,
we're pretty proud of that. And it's for a good reason. It's a great show.
Oh God,
It's
it absolutely is. I saw it last year at the Regal Theatre, and everyone is just off their seats dancing the moment the show starts, essentially. But excitedly, it would be terribly remiss of me to not mention this, of course. But the American version of the show has got some pretty famous band members in it. Do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, sure. It actually it extends out, but firstly, there's one guy in there that was I don't play bass in the American band. There's a guy called Hilliard Wilson, so he was the bass player for. He's played with the Temptations, the Supremes, the Martha and the Vandellas, Frida Payne, loveliest cat you'd ever meet, humble as pie. So that's him. And then some other members of the band, the drummer, the whole horn section, and the guitar player are the resident players in Earth, Wind, and Fire. Um,
You.
and and of course, they've played for Quincy Jones and Stevie Wonder and you name it. They've got Grammys and all that. So the caliber of the musicians is amazing, and indeed the Australian band is pretty amazing. Our sax player Jason Brewer toured with Martha and the Vandellas through
Yeah.
Europe
Yeah.
in the late 90s. So we pride the band. They're all lovely people. We've become a bit of a family. They're all well-schooled musicians.
And then, of course, there's the Australian production of the show, which is incredible. I mean, and that is filled with amazing, talented people, also, whether it be the singers, whether it be the band's members. But yeah, the Australian production is just through the roof. In
Absolutely. And Greg, Greg Carger, our trumpet player, is originally from Adelaide. And he's just out of this world. And he toured with Olivia Newton-John, and he
Holy
played with
moly.
James Morrison. Just top of the line. And these people are just out there for a fun time. The show is designed to be uplifting. There's a lot of doom and gloom in the world, and we designed our show just to take people away from, any woes and just to have a great time. And at the end of every show, the audience always says that was a feel-good show. It was fun, and the songs were familiar, and the songs are like old friends. Of course, the Motown songs, they'll remind you of where you were from the 60s and 70s. They'll remind you who your friends were, where you were, and the song itself becomes like an old friend.
Oh,
It's a comfortable, familiar feeling. Those songs, and everyone sings along, of course.
totally.
Uh,
Singing is
all,
encouraged, right?
no, absolutely, and we always find a spot if people want to have a dance on the side of the room. Um, our biggest problem is our biggest problem is that it's called Dancing in the Shadows of Motown, the Australian show, and of course it's inspiring. We've kept the tempos up and an uplifting show, so a lot of people want to dance, and then of course we have to put them on in theatres where they're sit down theatres. So we try and keep everybody happy. So we make sure the people dance to the sides or up the back so they're not blocking somebody's view. You
Yeah.
know, so, and of course our demographic is a mature demographic, but I've got to tell you, people have brought their teenage kids to some shows and they're just blown away that it's actual music, with your horn section and your beautiful vocal harmonies, of course, being a Motown show where it's all about the the vocals and the vocal harmonies. So even the youngies that have come have just been blown away. It's
Uh,
quite overwhelming to see their reaction, to be honest.
and because the band is quite big, it's a 10-piece band, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it's Tempest Band, it's fun. We have a party on stage. It's
Yeah.
like people say to us, "You guys are just having a party," and it's really reflective. We've done the show now for like nearly 8 years, so the show, and we keep getting new things and adding new things. We've got some amazing videos. I've just finished adding a video of the Jackson 5 from the Jim Neighbours TV show on the big screen behind us, and of course at the Regal Theatre, being a picture theatre, it's
Yeah.
a great screen. So what we do is I've stolen an idea that my friend John Stewart in Las Vegas does with all his shows,
Yep.
and we do the song live with the original artist on the wall behind us, like on the screen behind us. So we've got a click track for the drummer, and we do "I'll Be There" with the Jackson 5 on the Jim Neighbours show in sync. It's a great, it gives it a whole dimension, when you're seeing the original artist up there.
Oh,
Uh, it,
love
it's
it.
it's it's a Las Vegas trick, but it's quite overwhelming.
And
Uh,
how cool is the Regal Theatre to play in? I mean, acoustically, that place is
um,
just electric, right?
we love it there. The people are great. Of course, Steve, the manager there, and all the staff are fabulous people. And we seem to get a lot of people coming back each year. And they know, hand on heart, we advertise it as a new look show with even more magic Motown hits, because we're always just improving and adding some new songs. And so for the people that have seen it last year, it's a little bit different. But but indeed, the Regal Theatre is just gorgeous. It's probably, it's one of our favourite theatres in Australia. We also we're off to New Zealand next week, and we sell out the theatres in New Zealand as well. So we sort of got this big circuit now, and once a year. And as I say, by the time the year's gone, we've got some new songs in there, some new wardrobe we've got coming, and some new videos. So it's essentially a great show that you saw before, but with a little bit more.
Oh, and you know what? I mean, like I say, I mean, the Motown collection of, the song catalog is just so fast that you get to, change it around as often as you really need to, which obviously keeps the people coming back for more because they don't know what they're going to get, but it keeps it fresh for you all as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think about that, that's the reason why we chose Motown as a theme, so people would know what they're going to get. But within that envelope of performers, you've got Stevie Wonder, you've got the Temptations, the Four Tops, the Supremes, the
Yep.
Jackson 5, Marvin Gaye, the list goes on. So so we've taken the best of the best,
Yep.
of course. Why not? It's there.
Yeah.
And and indeed, it's a great collection. I think they had over 100 and something number one hits.
Oh,
So the song, you know what? The hardest decision is what not to play.
yeah, yeah. What do we leave out? What do we leave out?
Um, yeah, but we deliberately chose the fun for me, the ones that are uplifting, because that's the aim of the show, is to give people an uplifting experience, and indeed we do.
Well, see, I think you're just plain lazy because you know what? If you really were invested, you could just do a 6 or 7 hour show and just do all of the songs. What's this 2 hour
Well,
show business?
yeah, yeah, I'm not sure if we'd last that long.
At this
No,
age?
look, yeah, look, there is a concentration factor,
Yeah.
there that we think we've timed it really well, because the first set goes 50 minutes,
Yep.
and then you get to a break to go and get a drink, or go to the bathroom, whatever, and just take it in. And then of course the second set's an hour, so
Yep.
it's spaced well without sort of the fatigue factor of too long.
Totally. No, it's just perfect. Just perfect. Hey, I mean, you have played some pretty massive venues. I mean, the Regal Theatre, let's call that one out first of all, but also the Sydney Opera House. How was it performing? I mean, you guys do some major stuff. I mean, let's make no mistake. How was it performing at the Sydney Opera House, which is just, the biggest iconic theatre in Australia?
Oh, well, they just put in $1 million sound system, and that was a few years ago. That was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yep.
It was amazing, and prestige, yes. It was just, I guess, another bucket list item, for the band in total. And
Yep.
and then we still do, like, we do the Astor Theatre in Perth. That's 980 seats. We're going up to the Star at Gold Coast on the 10th of January, peak of holiday season, Gold Coast. It's 1,450 seats.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, and so most of we do a lot of we do a lot of stuff in a lot of big venues,
Yep.
and we go well. Like, we've been selling out. It's ridiculous. We've been selling out shows. You know, the last few weeks everything's sold out, which is great because um, eh, there's not that much money around these days, and people have got to watch their pennies. But it's just working. I think people just love coming to be uplifted, and because we've got five different singers in the band as well.
Yeah.
It's not only a variety of the music. Every song is a new lead singer, as you've seen, and
Mm.
and then the other singers become harmony singers. So by the time they get their lead role, they've caught their breath not singing every song. So, and as you've seen, it's a great variety of singers, and they complement each other, and it just gives it that great amount of entertainment value.
Love it. Well, look, I'm just going to put it out there for you right now, Craig, that if anyone falls sick, in that like five-person lineup, I'm stepping in. I know the songs,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, of course you do.
I'm stepping in for you. I'll be the stand-in. All right, there
You're
you
more
go.
than welcome. There you
I don't know if I've quite got the look. I don't know if rock was quite that Motown look, but I'll give it a shot. I'll change it up, you know.
It'd be
Hey,
fun.
what is one of your most memorable moments of performing this show over the course of the years that you've been doing it?
Um, I guess for me personally, it was one of the ones in America where we have one of my best friends now, two of my best friends. One is Mickey Stevenson, who was the first A&R guy for Motown. He
Wow.
now comes to all of our shows in America. And he's actually going to come out and visit here. But I sit with him because we pride our show is authentic.
Yep.
Right. We take pride in the fact that we make it as close as we can to your authentic Motown road show. So, you've seen it, that the boys dress up like the Temptations and the girls dress, and there's a wardrobe change. The
Yep.
girls dress up like the Supremes. So we try and keep the show authentic, and Mickey's been awesome. He actually set up the original Motown road shows and hired the choreographers and got the wardrobe in when Motown first started making hits. He said, we have phone conversations every week. It just so he can give me the details of what we need to make our show authentic. So the best moment for me was the night that he came with his lovely wife Michelle
Yep.
and sat with me, and then next to us as well was Sherry Gordy, the daughter of Berry Gordy.
Yeah.
Like, who's also a great friend of mine. And I was speaking to Sherry, and I said, "Oh, Mickey Stevenson's coming, the first A&R guy from Motown." I said, "Surely you'd know him." And she said, "Know him? He's my godfather." Right.
Wow.
So there I am sitting at one of my shows, and with Mickey Stevenson, the guy that put the original tour together for Motown, the road shows. And he said, "Look, the best advantage, the good advantage that you've got is the modern sound systems and the modern lighting systems, and the video, so you can actually enhance it with all that." And he said, "I'll give you one tip." Halfway through the show, and I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Don't change a thing." He said it's perfect, and and uh, and the cream of the cake was the band starts to do dancing in the streets, right? And so we called him out, put the spotlight on him, and said, "Here's the guy that wrote the song." And of course, he got a standing ovation, and then we introduced Sherry as well. So it's great to introduce all that authenticity and to run with it for both shows, the Australian show and American show, where we've got that inside intel on what made it tick. And there's a certain vibe about Motown, which is very enjoyable, very entertaining. And on Sherry, you look at any photo of if you stalk Sherry or Mickey or Berry Gordy on the internet, you will see an indelible smile on their face, and
Yeah.
it never leaves their face. They're the most positive, inspiring people I've ever met. So it's really kept me going. We've been doing the show in America for that. I think that was our fifth year. We've built it up, so we've just sold out every show. But again, to me, to answer your question, yeah, sitting there with the guy who put the original road shows together,
Yeah.
and with the daughter of Berry Gordy, Sherry Gordy,
Yep.
and we talk at least once a week on the phone because I'm sort of coordinating shows with her. We're setting up a show in Las Vegas. Um, it's just great to have that integrity for the show, for the authenticity.
Big players, absolutely. And
Yeah,
I mean, your cast and the crew, everyone involved in the show are just high quality talent, all the way to
absolutely.
professionalism. Craig Bodinnar, what an absolute pleasure to chat with you. You're such a gentleman and an incredible talent, and you delivering this music for us keeps it alive, and keeps us never ever forgetting, which is so important. Dancing in the Shadows of Motown does come to the Regal Theatre in Adelaide on the 29th of November 2025, just a couple of months away, from 8 o'clock onwards, for a good couple of hours of dancing and jiving. It'll be an absolute hoot. Grab your tickets. I'll put the link in the post. You know the deal, everybody. Craig, look forward to catching up with you when you get to Adelaide.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you, my friends. Bye.